Good morning. Good morning. This is I have to do this video. This video is unrelated to anything regarding our girls, Chantal or Amberlyn. I just had to post this because I had this on my heart. So as for you see from the title of this live, this video is about this lady right here, Rachel Hollis. And for those who don't know who Rachel Hollis is, she is a motivational speaker and author. She became really popular several years ago with her first book called Girl Wash Your Face. She then came out with a second book, which I have here, Girl Stop Apologizing. And last year in September, she came out with another book called Didn't See That Coming. So she is basically kind of like a Tony Robbins, not like Tony Robbins, but that whole motivational, relatable thing. She also does conferences. She does podcasts, very white women wellness space. And as a Black woman, I'm actually a fan of Rachel Hollis. As you can see, I have the book. I have points of this highlighted. And the reason why I'm making this video is that, so Miss Hollis has had controversies in the past for a variety of reasons, from plagiarism to promoting toxic positivity to speaking at MLM conferences. Like, there's no shortage of, her latest controversy before this one was about basically her divorce. She and her husband Dave has set out to be like this cool Christian couple, and they were giving marriage advice and all that stuff. And then you come to find out that they were having marital problems for a very long time, and they actually divorced late last year. So needless to say, she's definitely has changed a lot. If you watch her content from the very beginning, it was very mom blogish. She started out as an event planner, very DIY kind of a thing. And now she's setting out to be like, I don't know, a younger Oprah. I don't know what her intent is, but her newest controversy was earlier this week, or maybe late last week. She posted a video on TikTok that she reposted on IG, where she made a video talking about how, in her video, she had mentioned that she had someone who cleans her toilets. And someone on TikTok had commented that she is privileged, and she said yes, that she is, and she works hard in order to afford having someone to come and clean her toilets. These are her words, not mine. And then the person commented back saying, well, that's, you're unrelatable, or that's unrelatable. And then Rachel comes back saying, who says that I want to be relatable? And then she goes into this weird, kind of crazy rant. And I remember when I first saw the video, I wasn't particularly pleased with it. The people who watched the video, they found problems with it for a variety of reasons. I'm not going to get into it. There are various videos out there that talk about why was her post so problematic. Some people said that it was racist and some other things. And for me, my issue with her video really was that, it did come off as a bit classist to me. I mean, constantly calling the person who comes to your house and helps you out and cleans your house as the lady who cleans my toilet sounded a bit derogatory and dismissive. But that wasn't my main issue with her video. Another issue with her video that people had pointed out is that she inadvertently kind of connected the fact that she works hard with the fact that she can afford having a housekeeper. And that was a bit tone deaf because, as we all know in this society, there are plenty of people who work hard, who work harder than Rachel Hollis, and they still don't have the access to get a housekeeper. And on that same token, there are people who are lazy as shit, who don't really do anything, but they have the money anyways, right? So Hard work doesn't always equate to wealth. And that was a part that I think she was missing, and that she doesn't see how, her hard work wasn't the only reason why she got to where she got. There were other things, including privilege. And the part of the video that really bothered me was that when she started saying, "Who told you that I want to be relatable? I have no intention to be relatable. If I'm relatable, then I'm doing it wrong." And as someone who's a huge fan of Rachel Hollis, and why I liked her is because she was relatable, for her to say that that's not who she is, and that's who told you that I want to be that, I was like, that was super disingenuous. And it really just spit on the people who have been supporting her all these years. Now I'm someone who was able to separate the message from the messenger. There are parts of her content that I don't agree with, but there are other parts of her content that I really does resonate with me, and I really find inspirational. I'm not someone who goes out of the way to try to hate on this person, but at the same time, people who make their money out of people who make money being a public figure, being an inspiration, selling courses, selling conferences, you're putting yourself out there saying that you're this guru for things. When you put yourself out there, then you're gonna get criticism, and you need to be able to take it and listen to what people were saying. So I say all that to say, after she made that video post, her comments were in shambles. She then put out a iOS press release, and I felt the apology at that point missed the mark. It didn't fully address what people were saying about why they had a problem with her previous post. And on top of that, she put the blame on her team because apparently comments were being deleted and muted. That apology went down even worse, and things just started snowballing, where she's going to be having a conference in May, and there were some people who were set to speak, but they're like, I don't know if I'm going to speak. And it was going definitely down a road of cancel culture, right? And so she took some time, because also prominent women of color who are in the space in terms of like anti-racist education in the wellness space also called her out and say, "Ma'am, this is where you were wrong." So anyways, last night she put up a new post, a new apology, and she took down the first two, the infuriating video and the subpar apology post. She finally took those down, and then she did another apology post last night. I think one of the issues is that, why does she keep that up for so long? Maybe to garner attention, who knows? But anyways, I was okay with her new apology. It definitely felt like she was more on the right track, and that she's taking time to really think through where it went wrong. And so my video right now, it's not necessarily about Rachel Hollis. It's about the people in the comment section. It really grinded my gears. When last night, when she put up her new post, there were all these people, her supporters, who were telling her, one, that she doesn't need to apologize, that people are just too sensitive these days, and people need to get over it, or they should just unfollow. No, it was so infuriating. I had responded to a couple of people. I made a comment on her post saying, wow, the invalidation going on in the comment section is so maddening. And I had someone respond to that this morning, like, if you don't like it, then why are you following her? People are just too sensitive. No. So this video is about the comment section. It took me 9 minutes to get to that point, but I wanted to give you a background context about why I'm making this video. Then one of the things, that issue I have is, if someone makes a comment or a statement and it hurts someone else, but it doesn't hurt you, you don't have the right to tell that other person who was hurt that they're being too sensitive and to get over it. Some of her supporters have no right to tell Rachel that she has no need to apologize. If you weren't offended by her comment, that is fine, but don't try to invalidate the experiences of the people who were actually hurt. Because though I originally didn't see what everybody was talking about, and I didn't agree with everyone's criticisms about her original post, there were parts of her video I didn't like, but I would never say, well, you're reaching, you know, when there were so many people, where there's smoke, there's fire. There were so many people who were coming to the same conclusion and were pointing out the same thing about why her post was invalidated. I mean, why her post was problematic. So that was the one thing that really bothered me, is that these people were like, oh, people need to get over it. People are just so sensitive. Again, I'm glad you're not bothered by it, but this is not, you can't tell people, no one has to accept Rachel's apology, right? I definitely agree that if you do accept her apology, that's fine. I also don't believe that there should be continued toxic comments and like degrading her all the time. She apologized. She said what she said. Now it's up to you to like move on if you want to, or just unfollow her. And, you need to process what you're feeling. But I would never, ever, ever tell someone that they need to move on, or when they need to move on, or they're overreacting, because that is not my place, because I wasn't the person who was hurt by the comments. And for me, it brings up another interesting point, that the people who were annoyed at the detractors, the people who liked Rachel's original post, because there were people who liked her original post and did not see anything wrong with her original post. That is fine. Why are you getting mad that other people were offended by it? And for me, it really feels like major white fragility in that sense, because the people who were like, oh, people are being too sensitive and they need to move on, they're upset that because the people, Rachel's detractors were calling her post either racist and classist and tone deaf and all these things. And if you're someone who originally liked her post, you may think to yourself, oh, well, I didn't have a problem with her post. I actually liked her post. Does that make me racist? Does that make me tone deaf? Does that make me classist? Maybe. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. That's a question that people don't want to hear. People don't want those type of labels on them. So instead of them taking a step back and unpacking, what people are saying, their immediate response is to attack the detractors and try to gaslight them and invalidate them. No. 2, this idea that in order to be a supporter of Rachel Hollis, right? That, like, I heard someone said, oh, Rachel, you don't need to apologize. Your real supporters know what your intent were, what your intent was. Your real supporters know where your heart about. Everybody here is just a hater. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Okay? This is not a cult. Okay? To say that if you question what Rachel Hollis says, that means that you're not a supporter is complete and utter garbage. Because there are a lot of people who support her, who bought her books, who went to her conferences, who bought her courses. That doesn't mean that we can't question what she puts out. If part of her teaching is to not apologize and to be strong and not to accept life the way it is, then she can't be surprised that people are going to do that to her. She's not a perfect person. And she's someone who chose this career. She's someone who chose to be this motivational speaker, all right, to put all this motivational content to inspire women. And she does get it wrong sometimes. Everybody gets it wrong. But you chose to be in this position, so you need to be prepared to be called out. And all her supporters, you're enabling the bullshit. Like it's just ridiculous to me. So this idea that you're not really a supporter, you can't want to hold Rachel accountable. This is not an echo chamber. At the end of the day, Rachel Hollis's empire, her ability to hire someone to clean her toilets, was built on the work of other people, and it was built out of the money from her tribe. So yes, she needs to be prepared to be held accountable for her actions. And if this is just way too much, I'm sure she's going to write another book about it. Then maybe she just get another job and go back to being an event planner and hold her views on her group chat. right? Anyways, I actually got completely tired from all of it last night. I was so burnt. It was just too much. It was a massive dumpster fire. And for me, I personally am just moving on. I'm not canceling Rachel. I'm not gonna unfollow her. I will probably still continue to read her books. I really like Girls Stop Apologizing. I mean, there were things in there that really were important to me. That really helped me, but I'm able to separate the message from the messenger. But that being said, I wouldn't. If you're someone who doesn't want to accept her apology, you don't have to accept her apology. If you still have issues with her, go ahead and express those issues. And for those who are just like, I'm so over, I'm tired of hearing of it, then you log off and you get out of the comment section. Right? Stop trying to attack people who still don't feel that, who are still hurt by what Rachel said. Just because you don't think it's a big deal, that doesn't mean it's not a big deal to other people. So that's that. That is I feel so much better just expressing that out. And in terms of like any other videos on Chantal and all that, I'm not interested because she's only doing live streams, and I'm not going to watch 2-hour, 3-hour live streams. I have better things to do. I am still abreast on the situation. Apparently, she's doing a Tinder hookup. That was interesting. I wonder if her Tinder hookup knows about her. Anyways, so she's still in the land of delusion. And yes, I know Amber Lynn just had quit a diet after a day. Welcome to the insanity. So anyways, thank you for watching. And if any of you guys know who Rachel Hollis is and have been following the situation, I would love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, please keep it respectful. And I'm all for having a discussion and a discourse. So thank you. And I will catch you whenever I have something else to say.